And now, Mike's thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome in to tonight's show. But before we dive into anything else tonight, guys, we need to stop. We need to breathe, and we need to give this man his little bit of flowers. Everything this kid has done in 2025, every throw, every read, every adjustment, every moment where the game tried to break him, he answered it with poise, with fire, and even with a level of growth that nobody can deny anymore. This isn't the same old rookie that people doubted. This isn't the developmental project that critics labeled him as. This is a franchise quarterback who has put the entire league on notice. The man, the myth, the legend, Drake May, just didn't improve in 2025, guys. He has evolved. He has become that guy. He has become that dude. The one the defensive circle is on the whiteboard. The one that coordinator stay up late night trying to figure out. The one the Patriots can finally build around with confidence. He's thrown with anticipation. He's layering balls into windows that he couldn't even attempt at last season. Escaping pressure with calm mechanics. Leading someone who understands the responsibility of being the face of the New England Patriots football. And say what you want, but Mike Vrabel deserves everything Drake May has become. Because he took a young, talented quarterback and didn't overwhelm him. He weaponized them. He trusted him. And Drake rewarded that trust with one of the most impressive year 2 jumps we have seen in a very, very long time. Look around the league. How many organizations would kill this kind of progression? How many young quarterbacks stall out? How many fold under pressure? Drake May didn't fold. He rose, he delivered, he stepped into the fire, became out sharper. Guys, so tonight, let it be known, 2025 is the year of Drake May. Stop being maybe. Stop become a bet on it. This is a year he submitted himself in the future in Proxborough. This is the year that he has become the league MVP. And this is only the beginning, because the AFC better start watching out, better start paying attention. Get this kid on notice, because it is about to get crazy up in Foxborough. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation, guys? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you're one with us today. But before we jump into today's action, guys, head over to manhourradio.com. That is where you find the exclusive merchandise, the fresh blogs, and everything that's happening with the Man Hour show. So if you're rocking the Man Hour, guys, that is a spot to rep it. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe so you never miss a live and after show. That is the easiest way to stay plugged into us. But if you want the full Man Hour experience, guys, become a Pigskin Pundit. That is our members-only community where you get free entry into the weekly NFL pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merchandise, and only bonus live streams that only the Pigskin Pundits get. So if you want that next level access, guys, join the squad today. Now remember, guys, this is a live and after show, so drop your thoughts, drop your takes, and drop your comments down below, because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, Mr. Old Man River. He says, Raiders Nation for life, baby! Old Man River, we are going to be talking about those Raiders today on Cold Hard Facts here on this beautiful Wednesday. That's what we do on Wednesdays, Cold Hard Facts. We're going to talk a little bit about Geno Smith. We're going to talk a little bit about the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to talk about how bad they're so bad. They're so bad. But slow it down, baby. We're going to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. And then we got my man Arthur Brown in the chat. He says, yo, 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 what is up, AB? Hope everything's going well. AB, I want you to stay tuned, right? I want you to stay tuned for cold hard facts as well. That coming in about 30 minutes or so. We're going to talk about your Miami Dolphins and how they're going to finish the season 10-7. Slow it down, Box, slow it down. Do not get ahead of ourselves when we're going to talk about your Miami Dolphins. And then we got Jim Powell in the chat today. He says, the Raiders. Man, I wish I had the John Madden's voice said the Raiders. I love it. Love it. Welcome, 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 guys. Jim Powell is the Pigskin Pundit CEO. He is the Pundit CEO. He is the ringleader over the Pigskin Pundits. And Old Man River is also a Pigskin Pundit as well.
Pigskin Pun. Get you some.
So, guys, be like Old Man River. Be like Jim. Hit the membership tab down below and get free entry to the NFL weekly pick'ems, guys. Because last week we gave away, what was it? We gave about $30 away, right? We gave away $30 away. And so far this season, we gave over $1,000 away to the Pigskin Pundits. Well, people that have been playing the NFL pick'ems. So, guys, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up, because we got a wild show for you today. And let's start there right off at the top. And let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. CJ Stroud. Because, guys, CJ Stroud is out again. That's right, guys. CJ Stroud will miss his third straight game. Man, our nation, this is huge news coming out of Houston. CJ Stroud is out again. Let me repeat for the people in the back. He is out again for Thursday Night Football versus the Buffalo Bills. This makes 2 full games and 3 games in total because of his concussion. And at this point, guys, this is more than just a headline. It is a season-defining moment. Coach DeMeco Ryans confirmed it Tuesday that CJ Stroud has not been cleared for concussion protocol. He practiced it in a limited role, but the short week playing on Thursday has killed the chance of him playing this week. Safety Jalen Parente is out as too for the same reason. Concussions, concussions, concussions. Houston simply ran out of days. This short week sucks. But, guys, this is huge for the Houston Texans. This is huge for the Houston Texans, and I'm going to tell you why. Guys, the Houston Texans have pulled themselves out of the 0-3 hole and fought back to be 5-5. They are right there in the playoff, AFC playoff hunt. They're sitting at the number 8 seed, tied with the Kansas City Chiefs. And then this Buffalo Bills game on Thursday Night Football, it is everything. You win this game, your playoffs odds jump from 26% to 37%. If you lose this game, your odds drop below 15%. It is a free-for-all, and Houston cannot afford it. Now, Davis Mills will be stepping in again. Davis Mills has been the man, the myth, the legend. With CJ Stroud out, Davis Mills will get the nod for the second straight week coming in for game number 3. And to be fair, it has been good enough to win. He has done great things. He is 2-0 in CJ Stroud's absence. A 2-game winning drives, offensive scoring 22.5 per game, 3 touchdowns and just 1 interception. Now, let's not get it twisted. He is no CJ Stroud, but he is competent. He can keep the offense moving by the next 3 weeks, but the next 3 weeks are not cupcakes either. They're landmines. They play the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football. You win this game, you get the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Buffalo Bills. And it's going to come down to a lot of tiebreakers in the AFC. The following week, you got the Indianapolis Colts. You can gain a game on them and a direct playoff rival. And then you play the Kansas City Chiefs. You can knock Kansas City legit out of the playoff picture if you beat them. Guys, they need CJ Stroud back in a bad way. These 3 games could reshape the entire AFC playoff race. They can make or break the entire Houston Texans season. They can make or break the entire Kansas City Chiefs season. Hell, they can make or break the entire Buffalo Bills season. And CJ Stroud is expected to be back week 13 versus the Indianapolis Colts, and that only matters if the Texans can stay alive long enough in that game to even make it matter. Guys, the bottom line is this. It comes down to one question. Can Davis Mills hold the Texans above water for 1 more week? Or will CJ Stroud return to a season that's already been slipping away? This is the moment. This is the margin for error is gone. Now, Man Hour Nation, let me ask you guys this question. With CJ Stroud out, do you guys think the Texans can win 1 more game without CJ Stroud and stay in the AFC playoff hunt? Or is Davis Mills just not good enough to compete with the Buffalo Bills? Super Bowl bound Buffalo Bills might some to say. With that being said, guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below and join the conversation. joined the conversation. Oh, man, Rumor says saving him for playoffs, but Carolina looking pretty good. Well, to be fair, Carolina is in the NFC. But how can you save CJ Stroud for the playoffs if you're not going to, if you can't even make it to the playoffs? Because if you can't make it to the playoffs, what are you saving them for? Understand this, guys. The Houston Texans, I wrote them off long ago. After 0-3 start, what they were 1-4 at one particular point. Yes, they had a great defense. Offense was suspect. Play calling was suspect. Coaching was terrible. They cut CJ Gardner-Johnson, get him out of town. And now here we are, 5-5. CJ Stroud out for the third straight week. Third straight game that he will not finish. Third straight game that CJ Stroud could be the man, the myth, the legend. But the simple fact of the matter is, if the Houston Texans do not beat the Buffalo Bills, if they do not beat the Indianapolis Colts, and if they do not beat the Kansas City Chiefs, their playoff chances are finito. Done. Adios, amigo. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. That is just the way it is. And Jim is pulling up a good point here. Tua Stroud? Too soon? Never too soon, baby.
Pigskin pun. Get
The
you
facts
some.
are there. The facts are there that CJ Stroud gets hurt a lot. This is like the fourth or fifth concussion of CJ Stroud's just career in general. Between high school, college, and now the NFL, he has had 4 concussions, all of which has missed multiple games because of concussions. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be yet, but might be coming pretty soon. Might be like, it's never too soon to kind of think about, hey, what is going on up there? Why is he getting so many concussions? Why is it taking him so long to come back from these concussions? Now, I understand you got to pass the test, yada, 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 all that BS, right? Back in my day, how many fingers am I holding up, butt? 8, coach. You're good. Get out there. Make sure you wipe that shit off your pants. Like you good, baby. But yes, Tua Stroud is not too soon. We definitely need to start thinking about that. Thinking about that. Arthur Brown says no. No. The Houston Texans cannot beat the Buffalo Bills. Let me ask you this question, Arthur Brown. If CJ Stroud was playing in this game, can the Houston Texans beat the Buffalo Bills then? If CJ Stroud was playing, can they beat the Buffalo Bills then? That's the better question. But I guess that's not really the better question, but it's kind of like a hypothetical what if type of situation. He says no. No, because the Buffalo Bills are them, baby. They them, says Arthur Brown. But AB also says, whoa, slow it down, baby. The Buffalo Bills Super Bowl down? We talking about the same Buffalo Bills that got beat by the Miami Dolphins. We talking about the same Buffalo Bills that got beat by the New England Patriots. We talking about the same Buffalo Bills that got beat by the Atlanta Falcons. See the Super Bowl bound? Hey, let's flash back to August, baby. Let's flash back to early September. Ooh, they rolling, they looking good, baby. I sat here on Man Hour and said, who is going to beat them? What happens next week? The New England Patriots whoop that ass, baby. But yeah, listen, I'm not going to call the Buffalo Bills season a bust yet, but this might be a blessing in disguise if you are a Buffalo Bills fan. They've been punched in the mouth. People are starting to doubt them, much like the Kansas City Chiefs. The dynasty is over. They're not even going to make the playoffs, whatever. Okay, awesome, cool. Write me out. Let me sneak in like the New York Giants back in 2012 or whatever it was, the year they beat the Patriots. Let them slide in at 8-8. Let them slide in at a 9-8 record. Hell, let them slide in at 8-8-1 record. 7 seed, coming to 2 seed, whoop that ass. All of a sudden, oh shit, they here, baby. Do not let the Buffalo Bills get hot. That's all I gotta say about that. There it says, pump the brakes, baby. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Arthur Brown says they're going to look into his helmets. So you're saying that maybe CJ Stroud's getting all these concussions because of his helmet? I mean, obviously, technology and helmets have come a very, very long ways. Back from even when Aaron Rodgers first was a rookie year, just a nice solid piece. Now it's multiple pieces of like a helmet, right? they are mocking it like a baby skull. Because as you guys know, a baby skull is just a bunch of pieces, right? It's not one solid piece. That's why when a baby falls and hits his head, they don't get a concussion, right? It kind of just whoop, right? So now the helmets nowadays are designed to go whoop. So like when you see like Patrick Mahomes get crushed in that playoff game versus the Miami Dolphins, that piece goes flying off, right? Like the top, it's designed to do that nowadays, right? And I don't think Tua or CJ Stroud has that new technology helmet. They just have the nice solid one piece, maybe with the little protecting of the chin thing there, because that was big when I was in college, right? They put the helmets came down to the chin because they thought the concussions were coming from the chin, not the whiplash effect, right? So definitely look into the helmets, right? Definitely look into the helmets and see why they are getting so many concussions. Like that is a great point, Arthur Brown. And Arthur Brown, I've missed you, buddy. I hope everything is fine. Like I know my man's a Miami Dolphins fan, so I know everything's not fine, but we're talking about your Miami Dolphins, slow it down. But look into the helmets. Definitely, because they are looking into Tua's helmets, like he says, and they have changed his. And you know what? He hasn't had a concussion all season long. Well, I mean, let's rephrase it. He may have gotten a concussion, but he hasn't gone on us yet, right? Because to be fair, many people get concussions, they just don't know it. A lot of people get concussions and don't even know it. That's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. So guys, let me ask you this man-hour question one more time before we go into the segment number 2 of the day. Shedeur Sanders getting robbed. Starting. Will the Buffalo Bills beat the Houston Texans, or is the Houston Texans going to beat the Buffalo Bills? That is the question of the day, guys. Give me a hashtag Texans or a hashtag Bills in the comments down below to get your votes in for that day. James Powell says, back in my day, if you didn't hear a phone ringing, go play baby. Jim, back in my day, I used to use my head as a weapon. Come across the middle, see what happens, mofo. Right? Let's see what happens. See what happens, baby. And guys, as my camera starts going out, my bad. Jim is saying the Bills. He's saying the Bills. Arthur Brown is saying I have to say it, but the Bills for the win. And Old Man Rivers says Bills all day, baby. I think I have to concur with you guys. I think the Buffalo Bills win this game. However, it is at Houston. It is on Thursday. And historically speaking, teams that travel on Thursday usually at 70% of the rate lose on Thursday Night Football. So I'm going to go against the grain. I'm lying. I think I need the Buffalo Bills to win. I don't know. Bills, I guess. Bills. But Shedeur Sanders, guys, will get his first NFL start on Sunday. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the robbery. We're not going to talk about him starting. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns franchise and being in a no-win spot. They're in a no-win spot. They're in a lose-lose situation with a man, Shedeur Sanders. Man, our nation, let's talk about the reality in Chicago or Cleveland right now. Because this is one of those situations that no matter what happens on Sunday, no matter how good or how bad Shedeur Sanders plays, the Browns are going to catch heat. They are going to catch heat if he plays good. They're going to catch heat if he plays bad. Shedeur Sanders is officially starting this week for the Cleveland Browns. And let's just be real. This puts the Browns coaching staff, ownership in the absolute worst spot imaginable. Because picture this. If Shedeur Sanders plays great, they look like absolute clowns. Every fan, every commentator, every YouTuber, every dog with the X account is going to be screaming, see, they should have drafted him higher. See, they should have started him from day one. They should have just let him cook, baby. But if Shedeur Sanders plays bad, if he plays dog poopy, if he plays hot dog water, well, now the Browns look even worse because that means they legit have no quarterback for the present and no quarterback for the future. Cleveland has walked themselves straight into a lose-lose situation. But guys, look how we got here. Let's recap this madness because the Browns had never planned for this. Matter of fact, did the Browns plan for anything? Because if you think about it, Shedeur Sanders was the 5th round pick, a development guy, the 4th quarterback on the depth chart behind the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Flacco, behind Kenny Pickett, behind Gillen Gabriel. He was QB4. He didn't get a single first-team rep in camp. He didn't get the preseason run with the starters. He was basically redshirted. He was basically like, you know what? You are a scout team quarterback. Andrew Berry, the GM for the Cleveland Browns, even said he's learning the NFL offense for Sanders like he knows English. And he's had to learn Mandarin. That's how raw they believe Shedeur Sanders was. That's how bad they believe Shedeur Sanders was. Then he starts the season as quarterback 3 behind Joe Flacco and Dillon Gabriel as Kenny Pickett gets traded. Now, later down the year, Joe Flacco gets traded, and suddenly Shedeur Sanders is the backup. And then last week, boom, Dillon Gabriel goes down with a concussion versus the Baltimore Ravens, and Shedeur Sanders gets thrown in the fire. In his debut, 4 for 16, 47 yards and an interception, got sacked twice. He even admitted after that he had thrown his first ball of the entire season to Jerry Jeudy in that game. That's how little chemistry that he's had with the starting unit. Now I get it. 3rd string, backup, 4th string quarterbacks do not get first team reps. So don't talk like that, but that's just the way it is. Now, this week is the first time the Browns have actually handed Shedeur Sanders the keys in practice. Kevin Stefanski finally split reps, tailored concepts, and installed plays to match Shedeur's eyes and his strength. Sanders said with the extra reps after practice all year helped him understand the concepts, but understanding is one thing, throwing to an actual starting receiver the first time all season is another. Kevin Stefanski said it himself. If you want to make sure everything we're calling is something feels you confident in. Translation, the Browns are crossing their fingers and hoping for the best. Translation is, we don't know what the hell we're doing. The translation is, Shedeur Sanders who? Guys, but let's talk about Shedeur Sanders' strengths. Let's talk about what he does well. He does have elite ball placement. He does seem to be poised in the pocket. He at 74 completion percentage at Colorado, he knows he can be accurate with the ball. Precise short to intermediate throws is what he excels at, in rhythm, and he can carve up defenses in rhythm. But the weakness, they're glaring. He hangs on to the ball too long. He drifts in the pocket. He took an FBS high 42 sacks last season. He tries to make every single play perfect, which leads to disaster. The Ravens blitzed him last week and went 0 for 5. 1 for 7 under pressure, an interception and 2 sacks. And now he's facing the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders defense that may not blitz a ton, but trust me, after watching the tape, they're going to heat up. They're going to send Max Crosby after the man. And if the injuries on the Browns offensive line, yeah, this could get pretty messy. But here's where this gets wild. Kevin Stefanski already said Dillon Gabriel is QB1 once he clears concussion protocol. He gave zero indication that Sanders could steal the job with the strong game. But let's just be honest. If Shedeur Sanders lights up in Vegas, Cleveland might have a full-blown quarterback controversy on their hands. If he crashes and burns, the Browns are going to go back to Dillon Gabriel, who has a QBR of 30.9. Second worst in the entire NFL. Cleveland has 2 first-round picks in 2026. They have the ammo to get a franchise quarterback, a big-time parade, or a top-of-the-draft prospect. So even the long-term picture is a giant question mark. Sunday is huge. Sunday could decide who starts week 13, who starts in 2026, whether the Browns draft a quarterback early in this year in the 2026 NFL draft. Whether Shedeur Sanders is the real option or just another name on a long, painful Cleveland quarterback list. He is the 42nd quarterback to start for the Cleveland Browns since 1999. Let that sink in, guys. 42nd quarterback. The bottom line is the Browns suck. The bottom line, the Browns have no direction. The bottom line is Cleveland Browns don't know what to do with their hands like Ricky Bobby. If Shedeur Sanders balls out, they look like fools for sitting him this long. If he struggles, they look like fools for having no quarterback plan at all. This Sunday just isn't a starting debut for Shedeur Sanders. It's a franchise evaluation. It's a job interview. It's a window into the Browns' future. Whether they're ready for it or not, it is what it is. But Man Hour Nation, let me ask you this question. Do you guys think Shedeur Sanders will play well enough to force the Browns to rethink their entire quarterback future? Or is he just another quarterback on the list? Guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/man hour. Now, this is a live interactive show. So jump into the comments down below and let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. Arthur Brown says, and I hope Shedeur Sanders kicks ass. So Arthur Brown wants Shedeur Sanders to come out there and light it up. Not because he is a Las Vegas Raiders hater. Not because he wants every team in the AFC to lose besides the Miami Dolphins. He says he wants Shedeur Sanders to be the man, the myth, the legend, because the Cleveland Browns suck. Not wrong. Not wrong, baby. Arthur Brown. I am conflicted. I am conflicted because I do follow Skip Bayless on Facebook. You guys know Skip Bayless is a huge Shedeur Sanders fan. Shedeur Sanders threw one pass and Skip Bayless is out there on Twitter. Oh, look, he's the franchise-changing quarterback. Retire his number now. Well, at the same time, I don't want to see every Fox Sports, ESPN, Skip Bayless, Pat McAfee, Stephen A. Smith, all those guys. I don't want them drooling from Shedeur Sanders' nuts. But at the same time, I don't want him to suck either because James Frank, he's a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
I want the man to enjoy some wins as well. I want the man to get a little happy. I want the man to understand what winning football is all about. But damn, this Shedeur Sanders, it's so crazy. This reminds me so much of when Lamar Jackson got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. Everybody and their dog was already putting Lamar Jackson up on this pedestal. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Look what the Ravens did. Super Bowl, Super Bowl. And I said, slow it down, baby. Lamar Jackson's overrated. Yes, he won the Heisman, but he's not that good. Now, is he a pretty good quarterback? He is a pretty good quarterback. Is he an elite quarterback? Absolutely not. I told you all to calm down. But now, on the same surface, on the same breath, the same people that were dogging, that were praising Lamar Jackson are already dogging Shedeur Sanders. He's trash. He's hot dog. What is this? Whatever. Like, this is my rant yesterday. Stop praising or criticizing this guy before he's even taken a snap. You only slow down. Let him play the game. Let him play the game. Oh, by the way, let him play the game. Old Man River says, I think he'll throw for 250 with a tutty and a pick. I mean, to be fair, who hasn't thrown 250 and a tutty against the Las Vegas Raiders this season? I mean, who hasn't broken 300 yards? I know who hasn't. Drake May hasn't broken 300 yards yet this season. But it would not shock me one bit if Shedeur Sanders plays the Las Vegas Raiders and a 300-yard game and a 2-tutty performance comes out and the Browns still lose, I don't know, 56-54. Like, it just, defense will be at a, actually, I lied. It'll be a premium. Defense will be at a premium. Let's say 14-12 game. John's in the chat. John's a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
John says, what up, what up, what up? He says, Shedeur will remain the starter and the franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns moving forward. Now, John, 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, on a Factor Crap, we had a Factor Crap asking if Shedeur Sanders would become the Browns starting quarterback by December 1st. Most of us said fact. Most of us said fact and that he would continue to be quarterback for the rest of the season. So I will concur. I will concur that he will remain the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. However, franchise quarterback is a totally different realm because Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry don't like him. They didn't want to draft him. They were pressured into drafting him. They put him on the 4th string, kind of buried him on the depth chart just to shut people up. And like now their hands kind of forced, and they want him to fail. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry want Shedeur Sanders to fail. That is what it comes down to. They want him to fail. And so, with that being said, on Sunday, if you guys get the opportunity to watch the Raiders versus Browns game, I want you to see the play calling. I want you to see if there's any rhythm, any flow, any playing into Shedeur Sanders' strengths. Staying in the pocket, stepping up, nice rhythm, short, intermediate throws. Or is it going to be a lot of deep throws while handing the ball off? That's the biggest question. What is the play call going to look like? Bruins Prod says, hey, buddy, Drake May today? Dude, I just praised Drake May for 5 minutes to start the show. I legitimately spent a whole 5 minutes praising Drake May. Go back and watch it. I think I got the DVR set. Go back and roll it back. Watch it. Watch it. Red card. What's loading? Come on, man. John says he does not need to figure some he does need to figure some shit out because he looked lost. Well, to be fair, John, he was not prepping. So the one thing, so I am a high school football coach, right? I coach and I try to get my kids ready to play each and every Friday night. I take a playbook out of Dan Campbell. I do not love Dan Campbell by any stretch of the imagination, but the one thing that he says that resonated with me for the last couple seasons is because, as you guys know, the Detroit Lions went through a plethora of injuries, right? When at one point last season they had like 21 guys on like the IR, something crazy, right? Dan Campbell says every player on that roster, on the practice squad, the backups, third strings, backup punter, backup kicker, everybody is being prepped like they're starting the following week. Everybody on that roster is being prepped like they're starting the following week. I don't know how many coaches in the NFL actually do that. Matter of fact, many high school coaches, college coaches, little league coaches don't do that. I have taken that upon myself. I've taken those words and put it in my soul, and I try to prep each and every kid like they're going to start that particular game. Obviously, Kevin Stefanski does not do that because Shedeur Sanders did look lost on last Sunday. He did not look prepared. He looked like he was trying to force some stuff, right? Trying to earn his keep. And that is 100% on coaching. So NFL guys, so if you guys are ever going to coach at all, if you're a little league coach, if you're a high school coach, a college coach, a NFL coach, a UFL coach, a men's beer league, hockey league coach, prep every player like they're going to start the following week. That will make your team great. That will make your organization great. And that will build the foundation for future generations to come through and be great. Bruin says, can we have another 60 minutes of Drake May talk? Friday, when we do the game picks, we will praise Drake May a little bit more for you. And John says, yeah, Buck, he was not prepared. Now, on the other hand of that, let me ask you guys this legitimate question. Because as a coach, when I make the scattering reports, when I make the keys, when I make the adjustments, when I do this, and this, right, to get said players prepared for a Friday night game, Saturday game, Sunday game, I can only do so much. You can only lead a horse to water. You cannot force him to drink the water. Now, as we all agree that Shedeur Sanders was not prepared last Sunday to play an NFL football game, I personally kind of placing the blame on Kevin Stefanski. However, we're not in that locker room. We are not at the practice field. We are not in the meeting rooms. We are not in Shedeur Sanders' house while he's getting robbed. Is the Browns organization getting Shedeur Sanders prepped, but he is just not doing the extra work to get prepared? That's the kind of question that it comes down to. Because me as a coach, I can get my players ready. I can give them the scouting reports. I can get them reps at practice. I can do this, and this, and this, and this. But if they don't do this, and this to prepare themselves for Friday nights, they're going to suck. They're going to look lost. They're going to look not prepared. So that's the question. Man-hour relation, that is the question. Do you think that Shedeur Sanders wasn't prepared by coaching staff or not prepared by himself on Sunday, last Sunday, week 11? That is the question. John says, I love Campbell. he is a great motivational coach. X's and O's coach, I don't know. Right? X's and O's coach, just slow it down, baby. But Bruins Prods asked this question, says, do you think Saquon will proceed to fall off? I don't think Saquon Barkley has fallen off. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are still matter of fact, let me rephrase that. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL still to date. They are number 1 in my NFL power rankings going into week number 12. I think they are saving Saquon Barkley for the postseason a little bit. There's a reason why they traded for Tank Bigsby, meaning the Philadelphia Eagles. They traded for Tank Bigsby to give Saquon Barkley a little bit of rest. Because as we all know, running backs are a dime a dozen in the NFL. Elite running backs are like a diamond in the rough right there, right? Like if you finding like a needle in the haystack. But truth be told, most running backs do not last past 6-7 years. That is a shelf life of an NFL running back. That's just what it is. That is why people like Le'Veon Bell, like James Cook, like Saquon, like Derrick Henry wanted to get their bread on their first contract because they know after their 4-year rookie deal, they have 3 years to make that money before they fall completely off of the cliff. Because have you seen Derrick Henry ball out this season? No, you haven't. Have you seen Saquon Barkley ball out this season? No, you haven't. But I do not see him falling off. I see play calling being an issue in Philadelphia. I see play calling the reason why we're not hearing Saquon Barkley get 100, 150 yards, 200-yard games, the flip behind the back, reverse dunk, slamming your face, LeBron James style, right? I think he still has tread on the tires. I still think he has some life in those legs. I still think he is going to be the man, the myth, the legend for a long, long time to come, baby. I do not think he fall off. But he is definitely aged. He is aged. He will slow down next season. There's a reason why they got Tank Bigsby. I haven't heard his name as much as I did last season because last season he was busting off 150, 160, 200-yard games. Last season the Philadelphia Eagles were a dominant force. The last season he was like, I want to prove it to the New York Giants that I am still him. This year, it's all about repeat. This year is all about getting back to the Super Bowl. This year, they're taking a play out of the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. One-score games, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's all they're worried about. They're just worried about getting back to the game. Not about being 15-2. Not about being 14-3. Not being first overall seed. They want to be the best team in February. That's what it comes down to. And John says, I called the Saquon fall off. I mean, I do give you credit because obviously Saquon has fallen. Let me pull up his stats, right? I clicked on the Giants. Let's keep thinking on Giants. Let's pull up his stats for the season. So far this season, he has 662 yards. He's averaging nearly 4 yards per carry and only 4 touchdowns. He has a long run of 65 yards. Now, if we flat back to the 2024 regular season, obviously last year he finished with over 2,000 yards. He was averaging nearly 6 yards a carry, 13 touchdowns in a long run of 72, 125 yards per game. So obviously he is doing half of the production, half of the yards per carry, not even close to touchdowns. He's like, he's on pace for 8 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. He's only averaging 66 yards a game. However, Tank Bigsby is averaging 20. Jalen Hurts is averaging 30. Last season, 2021-2024, Kenneth Gainwell was only averaging 7 yards a game. So it just, I don't know. It is what it is. Fall off or not. Bruins Paul says, do you think A.I. Brown will go to the Patriots? A.J. Brown to the Patriots, huh? I don't know. Obviously, the Patriots have a lot of cap space. The Raiders have a lot of cap space. There are other teams going to have a lot of cap space in Miami. Dolphins are going to have some cap room. They're going to have to replace Tyreek Hill. We're going to see what George Pickens does. The Pittsburgh Steelers are obviously always looking for an extra wide receiver. But I do tell you that A.J. Brown is not going to be a Philadelphia Eagles. That was a cold, hard fact last week. Whether like it or not, A.J. Brown is done in Philadelphia. Now, does he go to the Patriots? That would be iffy. Because you still got Stephon Diggs. You still got Matt Collins, right? Still got a lot of draft capital. It would be nice to see. Get him a nice superstar wide receiver. Team him up with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is on a 1-year deal, right? So let's put a pin in this conversation, because if Stephon Diggs signs a long-term deal with the Patriots, I don't think they pursue AJ Brown. But if Stephon Diggs decides to go somewhere else, the Steelers, the Cowboys, wherever, then absolutely AJ Brown will definitely go to the Patriots. It's a very, very good possibility. And John says AJ Brown will end up back in Tennessee. Nobody wants to go to Tennessee. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland. Nobody wants to go to Cincinnati. Nobody wants to go to Tennessee. AJ Brown wants to go to a winner, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. Map space, cap space. True. All right, guys, let's talk about JJ McCarthy. The JJ McCarthy, is he the future quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? Guys, JJ McCarthy question is looming. It's looming large in Minnesota. Man, our nation, let's jump into this one, because this is the biggest question floating around the NFC North right now. Is JJ McCarthy the long-term answer at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? Ooh, guys, this just isn't off-season talk. This isn't just middle season talk. This isn't just noise. This is a real conversation happening inside the building in Minnesota right now, in that fan base and all across the league. Because right now, guys, the Vikings are stuck between they are stuck between potential and uncertainty. Now, let's not get it twisted. JJ McCarthy has talent. That's no fake hype. That's no projection. That's no wishful thinking. He is athletic. He is accurate, win in rhythm. He throws well on the move. He can make every throw in the playbook. And he's very mentally smart. The kid processes things fast. And Vikings fans have seen flashes of that. They're like, oh yeah, this kid can play. He has a moment like that every time he rips it into a tight window or escapes pressure on a play or 2 minutes left in the game. The ability is there. The tools are there. The ceiling is higher than anything in Minnesota has except prime Dante Culpepper. But talent alone does not make you quarterback one in the NFL. The big issue, guys, is consistency and availability. Here's what the Vikings have to figure out. Can JJ McCarthy be consistent? Because let's just be honest, he is great the last 2 minutes of every football game. When the game is on the line, bada bing, bada boom, he is going to be there, baby. But the first 58, a little bit of suspect. The next question is they got to answer is, can he stay healthy? The man missed his entire rookie year because of a torn meniscus. He missed, 6 games this season for an ankle sprain. Can he be the franchise quarterback week in and week out if you're not healthy? That's the biggest question. Guys, remember, the entire 2024 season was missed due to injury. His rookie season gone. Finito. Adios, amigos. See you later, alligator. He's still learning the NFL. He's still adjusting to the NFL speed. He's still building chemistry with Addison, Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, and the rest of that offense. The flashes are there, but the week-to-week reliability isn't even proven yet. And for a franchise that has been through the Bridgewater knee, the Bradford knee, the Cousins Achilles, and the revolving door for backups, Minnesota is done putting gamble on like health. They need a guy that can come in there and be the man, the myth, legend for many, many years. Let's keep it real. The Justin Jefferson factor as well. This conversation is tied directly to JJ. It's tied directly to Jetta. Jefferson wants a quarterback who can deliver the ball in stride, on time, consistently, without excuses. Is JJ that guy? No, he's not. You want Justin Jefferson to stay happy. And if Justin Jefferson stays happy, the Vikings offense takes off. And Minnesota becomes dangerous yet again, 14-3. If JJ isn't that guy, well, suddenly the Vikings' entire franchise direction becomes shaky. A little bit shaky, baby. This is how big it is. This isn't about a team that's rebuilding. They're not tanking. They're not starting over. Kevin O'Connell wants to win now. The roster is built to win right now. JJ, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, the revamped defense. That's a playoff caliber group right there. So the Vikings need to know, is JJ McCarthy the one leading them from week 5 to week 7 to week 15, the next 5, 10, 15 years? Or just a bridge that guy until the next guy arrives? This year, this stretch of games, this is the evolution period. Guys, here's the bottom line. JJ McCarthy can be the quarterback of the future. He has the tools, he has the intangibles, and the Vikings believe in him. They drafted him to be that guy. They let Sam Darnold go to let JJ be that guy. But the belief and the potential don't guarantee results. This season, on how JJ McCarthy handles the pressure, adversity, and expectations has determined everything. And right now, he's not stepping up. He's not being consistent. The flashes have been there, but not full games. If he does full games, if he finds consistency, if he steps up in the big moments repetitively, then yes, the Vikings have found their future. If not, Minnesota is right back in the quarterback carousel. Guys, that is the truth. The truth is JJ McCarthy is not the guy. The truth is they should have kept with Sam Darnold. The truth is they should have stepped with Kirk Cousins. The truth is they should have never drafted JJ McCarthy. But Man Hour Nation, let me ask you guys this question. Do you guys believe JJ McCarthy is a long-term answer for the Minnesota Vikings, or is the Minnesota Vikings still searching for his future franchise quarterback? Guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. Now, this is a live and after show, so comment down below, and let's get into your... John says JJ will figure it out. If he hasn't figured it out yet, will he ever figure it out? I mean, we're getting ready to talk about, or we talked about Justin Fields last night. The man's played 53 regular season games. He has not gotten them much as opportunity as JJ McCarthy has. Yes, I know JJ McCarthy sat out the whole rookie year, and he's only played, 7 games this season. Let's flash back to Justin Fields' rookie year in Chicago. 7 games. Boss, this guy's terrible. Get him out of town. Why we draft this guy, right? But JJ McCarthy's like, oh, he's a franchise guy. He's our dude. Y'all need to figure it out. Y'all need to figure it out. And Old Man Rivers says he is average.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
He's average at best, baby. And I agree. I agree he is average. I agree that he has been overhyped. I agree he has underperformed. I agree he is inconsistent at best. If he can figure everything out, if he can come together, if he can be consistently and healthy for many, many years, then yes, nice average quarterback. Nice Dak Prescott-esque type of quarterback, right? Bruins Prod says, JJ McCarthy is a baby. He'll be like Mac Jones. Whoa. Don't be talking about Mac Jones. Mac Jones was dog daughter in New England because the coaching staff was dog water in New England. Look what happens when you put Mac Jones with a little bit of good coaching, a little bit of good players, a little bit of a good system. He's better than Brock Purdy. Let's not get that twisted. And it would not shock me one bit. Guys, what has Kevin O'Connell done to back up quarterbacks from San Francisco 49ers? He brings them in, 14 wins, baby! Mac Jones. Calling it out, guys. November 19th, 7:48 p.m. East Coast time, right here at youtube.com/manhour. Mac Jones to the Minnesota Vikings next season, 14 wins. If Mac Jones goes to the Minnesota Vikings with this structure the way it is right now, same as that coaching staff, same as that receivers, running back, offensive line, receiver, they're a 14-win team. Mac Jones is that guy. JJ McCarthy will never get him there. No. He's below average. Mac Jones, slightly above average. Sam Darnold-esque, 1 year deal, 1 year prove-it deal, 14 wins, one and done in the playoffs. Bada bing, bada boom, get the bill, Joe. That's what's going to happen. Oh, man, where's that? Swipe right. Nice little Tinder reference. I like it. Bruins Prod says, the thing with Stephon is I don't think he will be the Patriots for long. He acts like a nice guy his first year, then becomes an absolute jerk and does bad stuff. That's why no team wants him. 4 girls. Where is Alpha Rob when you need him? Because Alpha Rob hates Stephon Diggs. Alpha Rob is the Buffalo Bills fan. He absolutely hates him. Oh, member says, what college did Mac Jones go to? It was not Alabama. Was it LSU? Was it Oklahoma? Old Man River consistently gobbles from the Alabama Crimson Tide's nuts. Bruins Prod says, they're absolutely wrong, Buck. You cannot say Mac Jones is a good quarterback because he is playing like the best offense in the league. He is horrible with a bad team and under. Anyone could be in Mac Jones in San Francisco. So basically, what Bruins Prod is saying is Mac Jones is just a product of the system in San Francisco. And I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. That's why I strongly discouraged the San Francisco 49ers to paying Brock Purdy. They can find a quarterback like Mac Jones, like Sam Darnold, like JJ McCarthy. Get him on the rookie deal, get him on a cheap contract, and they're a 13, 14 win team. Kyle Shanahan has a great system in San Francisco. It's a plug and play quarterback system. However, that system, that confidence, that growth that you received from that system does carry over at least 1 year to your next team. Now, obviously, Sam Darnold is a little bit struggling in Seattle right now. 4 interceptions two weeks ago, or last week, right, versus the Rams. We had a great year in Minnesota. Right? A great year in Minnesota. Spitgate. Jamar Chase, guys, suspension has been upheld. He will be suspended for 1 game, guys, and it's an absolute joke. It is a joke. Man Hour Nation, let's get into this because I am fired up today. You guys know how pissed off I was about this last night. You guys know how upset I was that Jamar Chase even thought about spitting in there. And then he denies it. But then he appeals the suspension. And luckily for me, my dog, Jordy Nelson from the Kansas State University. Jamar Chase's 1 game suspension for spitting on Jalen Ramsey has been upheld. Thank you, Jordy Nelson. And I'll be honest, this 1 game is soft. This 1 game is a smack in our face. This 1 game is a slap on the wrist. 1 game in the league that's pretending to take action without actually taking action. Guys, let me put this plainly. He should be out for the rest of the season. Period. Point blank. He should be out for the rest of the season. Spitting on another person, another man, another player in the middle of the game is one of the most disrespectful, disgusting, and flat-out cowardly acts that you can do on the football field. You want to throw a punch? Fine. Grown men fight all the time. It literally happens all the time. But spitting? That's next level trash. If someone spits on me, we're not playing football anymore. We are fighting. We are fighting over and over and over again. I will take my helmet off and I will smash your helmet until you have no helmet left. Guys, let me lay out the facts from the league and what they have said. Jamar Chase spit on Jalen Ramsey. It was caught on video. Jalen Ramsey reacted. He threw a punch. Jalen Ramsey got ejected. Cool, whatever. Jamar Chase stayed in the game. And after the game, Jamar Chase denied it. He denied it, and that's what pisses me off. You know you spit. You know it was on film. Jalen Ramsey saw it. He said it, and bada bing, bada boom. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Easy there, Shaggy. We caught you on camera. We caught you on the sofa. We caught you with the girl next door. It wasn't me. It was you. The fact that you tried to deny it is why you need to be suspended for the rest of the season. Come on, man. The camera doesn't lie. The NFL cited in the rulebook section on these type of actions, contrary to the principles of sportsmanship. And they're right. This is the opposite of sportsmanship. This is guttier. Chase lost his weekly paycheck of about $500,000. Cool. Money isn't the punishment here. Reputation is. The league message is simple. Player safety and respect is. Spitting has no place in the game. But yet one game, what's his face? Carter from the Philadelphia Eagles got one game. Should have been suspended for the rest of the season. Make an example out of it. And make an example out of him. If you would have made an example out of him, bada bing, bada boom, this would never happen. The NFL got this completely wrong. They got it completely wrong. I'll give the NFL a little bit of small credit. At least they suspended him for one game. But one game? We're talking about a league that will suspend guys multiple games for celebrations, late hits, uniform violations, gambling, social media posts, hitting women, and hits with no intent. But spitting directly on somebody in his face, you get one game? No chance. That is a week. This sets a terrible precedent. It basically says, go ahead, do the most respectable actions in sports, and you'll sit you down for a week. If anything, Jalen Ramsey should be applauded for not absolutely destroying him right there on the spot. Luckily, his boys were there to break it up because it would have been death on sight, baby. Guys, here's why I think Ja'Marr Chase should be gone for the entire year. I got 3 reasons. 1, send a real message. One game legitimately says nothing. Rest of the season says we don't tolerate filth like that in our league. Protect player respect. Football is violent. Football is emotional. Football is chaotic. But players still follow a code of conduct. This crosses every line, every unwritten rule in the NFL game. And then you need to set an example for every level of football. Kids watch Ja'Marr Chase. My kids love Ja'Marr Chase. High school kids, college kids, youth players. You want them thinking spitting is just a penalty? No, shut it down. Punish him. Get him out of this game for the rest of the season. Guys, the bottom line is Ja'Marr Chase is lucky. Lucky he only got one game. Luckily, Jalen Ramsey did not end his season right then and there. Lucky the league did not grow a spine and hand a suspension that actually deserves. Spitting on someone is unacceptable. In sports, life, anywhere. You don't do it, you never do it. One game isn't a punishment, isn't an embarrassment. But Man Hour Nation, let me ask you guys this question. Do you think the NFL should have suspended Ja'Marr Chase a little bit longer? Or should they have been banned for the rest of the season? Or are you happy with just one game? Guys, let me know in the comments down below. Remember, hit the like button, hit the share button. Remember, we are live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time. Right here at youtube.com/manhour. Now let's get into the comments. My man, Shay Frazier's back in the chat today. What's up, Shay? He says, yeah, that is disrespectful as hell. Get it out of here, baby. Get it out of here. And Bruins Pride says, completely agree. Get him for the rest of the year. We don't want that. We don't want that crap, baby. And Shay also says, Ja'Marr lucky Jalen didn't get that smoke. Let's just be honest. Ja'Marr Chase looks like a buffed up fruitcake. This is like the type of guy that just does arms and chest every day at the gym, runs his mouth, but actually cannot talk. Jalen Ramsey is from the streets. This man has been in a few fights. This man knows how to defend himself. If it wasn't for the offensive lineman, if it wasn't for the refs, if it wasn't for the water boy, Ja'Marr Chase would have been on his flat, looking up the ceiling, thinking, oh man, there's a white light. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. And then he lied about it. Exactly. Don't say I didn't do it. Now, to be fair, I was trying to defend Ja'Marr Chase just a little bit. Because at the time, I did not see the a tape or the picture. At the time when Jalen Ramsey said he spit, I was like, well, you know, when you're wearing a mouth guard and you're talking, you do get that saliva in your mouth, and sometimes you project a little bit of pressuration out there, right? I was trying to defend him, and I was 100% wrong. I was taking a side without seeing the tape. Once I saw the tape, and you saw a phone-sized spit come out of his mouth, that's not a little bit of saliva come because of a mouthpiece. That is a spit. Bruins Prod says, do you think Max Crosby will request to be traded from the horrible Raiders, this team eventually? No. He has said it many, many times he is a Raider for life. Back when the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons, everybody thought Max Crosby was going to come to town. He says, nope, I don't want it. I want to stay here. Arthur Brown says, suspend him for multiple would mess ratings up. It's all about the money. And he's created a very, very nice rivalry. Arthur Brown, you were 100% correct. At the end of the day, it's all about that mighty, mighty dollar. Because when you look at the Cincinnati Bengals roster moving forward, obviously ratings are going to move up when they play the old Pittsburgh Steelers again. Granted, they don't play the Pittsburgh Steelers again this season, but they play the Ravens, a rivalry game, twice in 3 weeks. They play the Dolphins, and then they play the Browns, the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. You want Jamar Chase on primetime TV versus the Dolphins, on primetime TV versus the Ravens. You want Jamar Chase there, especially without no Joe Burrow, right? No Joe Burrow. Tough. Time for cold hard facts, guys.
No sugar, no spice, no sweet disguise. The truth is a blade that cuts through lies. No fluff, no frills, just a raw steel bite. Cold hard facts, they don't play nice. Sharp as ice, no need to think twice. Cold hard facts, they hit, they slice. All truth, no fluff, no dice. It's black, it's white, no shades of gray. No soft whispers, just what they say. Like thunder, like fire, it clears the way. Cold hard facts, they don't play nice. Sharp as ice, no need to think twice. Cold hard facts, they hit, they slice. All truth, no fluff, no dice.
All righty, man, our nation, it is time for cold hard facts. If you've not seen this segment before, guys, this is how it works. I'm going to lay out some straight facts. No fluffing, no sugarcoating, just real, undeniable proof about what's going on around the NFL world. Guys, when we're talking about the cold hard facts, we're cutting through all the noise and getting through what is truth. What is happening, what is real. No room for debate here, guys. It's a fact that you can take to the bank. So, guys, buckle up, because we're about to drop some knowledge. No overreaction, no exaggeration, just pure cold hard facts.
Think twice. Cold hard facts, they hit, they slice. All truth, no fluff, no dice.
All righty, man, our nation, it's time for cold hard facts. And Atlanta Falcons fans, you're going to want to buckle up for this one. Guys, the cold hard fact is simple. The Falcons drafting Michael Penix Jr. at 8th overall was a mistake. Yeah, I get it. The kid is talented. He's got the arm. He's got the college resume. And let's be honest, this move made no sense then, and it even looks worse now. Guys, let's start with the obvious. The Atlanta Falcons already had Kirk Cousins. They already paid him millions upon millions of dollars. They gave Kirk Cousins a $180 million deal with $100 million guaranteed. That's not backup money. That's franchise quarterback money. They even colluded to get him. Lost a 4th round pick. So why in the world would we spend an 8th overall draft pick on another quarterback? That's not planning for the future. That's sabotaging the present. You don't invest that kind of draft capital when you just committed your franchise to a proven veteran like Kirk Cousins. Guys, the Falcons had holes everywhere. Defense, edge rusher, offensive line help, receiver help, and they use a top 10 pick to sit on the bench for 1, 2, maybe even 3 years. Look, they passed up many, many people. At that spot, the Atlanta Falcons could have drafted an impacted defensive player like Dallas Turner or a dynamic playmaker like Malik Neighbors. Both were available. Both would have made this team better right now. The Falcons were 1 or 2 players away from being a legit NFC South favorite. They got Bijan Robertson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, plenty of offensive talent. They did not need to get another quarterback. They did not need quarterback drama hanging around that locker room, and that's exactly what they created. Because the second Kirk Cousins throws a bad pick or 2 losses in a row, look what happened. The chant started. Put Penix in. Put Penix in. That's not development. That's dysfunctional at best. You got the locker room sprint now. You got veterans trying to win now. You got a rookie quarterback, or now a second-year quarterback that's throwing for later. That's 2 timelines that are colliding. It's not fair for Penix, a 24-year-old rookie, older than half of the people in the league when he got drafted, sitting behind a guy who might be there for, let's just be honest, he wasn't there for very long. Guys, the cold, hard facts is simple as this. The Falcons outsmarted themselves. They had a chance to build a contender. Instead, they built on controversy. Guys, the cold, hard facts is Michael Penix Jr. is not a top 10 quarterback. The truth of the matter is he should not have got drafted overall. The truth of the matter is the Atlanta Falcons look dumb then. They look even dumber now that Michael Penix Jr. is out for the season. Guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time. This is a live interactive show, so comment down below. Comment down below. Shade Frazier says, yes, you could have got him a second-round pick. Could have got him for a second-round pick. Not wrong, man. Not wrong. Kurt Bands, baby! Kurt got a lot of money. Lot of money. Bruin says, I'm back. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Everyone testing developed like Green Bay. That's not right. Packers suck. Drake may. Stupid. No, but Justin Fields is a top 10 quarterback. Even Tom Brady said it. Drake may. Get out of here. All right, guys, the next cold hard facts of the day. Let's go down to Vegas. Because, guys, the cold hard facts is this. Geno Smith will not be a Raider next season. Man Hour Nation. The facts are there. The cold hard facts is there. Geno Smith will not be a Las Vegas Raider next season. Not a maybe. Not a possibility. Not a depends. He is gone. Adios. See you later. Alligator. Guys, let's start with what the Raiders told everyone without actually saying it. Geno Smith was a bridge. He wasn't a franchise quarterback. He was we need stability while we find our future option. He was don't take the season option. He was be competitive while rebuilding roster type to option. That's not a long-term commitment. It was simply a placeholder. The Raiders have a brand new front office, a new direction. They clearly building a younger, faster roster. Geno Smith doesn't fit the timeline. And honestly, he hasn't played well enough to even force him into that way. Guys, let's call it what it is. Geno Smith has been inconsistent at best and a liability at worst. He's missing reads. He's late on progresses. He's turning the ball over in the worst possible moments, and the offense isn't the move the ball anywhere it needs to go. Sure, he can sling it. Sure, he has flashes. But truth be told, the Raiders suck. Geno Smith sucks, and he won't be in Las Vegas anymore. As simple as that. The cold hard fact is he will be laying his Raiders gear down and landing the next quarterback this offseason. Whether the Raiders find a guy through the draft, through a trade, through free agency, it is happening. They want a younger quarterback, somebody that can build around for the next 3 or 5 years, not 1 year plug and play veteran. And don't forget, guys, the Raiders fans are done with short-term patches. They want the next franchise. They want the next face of the franchise. They want excitement. They want the future. And Geno Smith doesn't represent the future. He's a pro. He's a leader. He landed somewhere else as the next veteran guy. But in Vegas, the writing is on the wall and the neon lights. He is not going to be in Vegas next year. It's simple as that, guys. He is not going to be the man, the myth, the legend anymore. Guess what, guys? Guess what? We're starting to run out of gas. So it's time for a little thing we like to call fact or all right, man, and actually this time, for Factor Crap. In today's segment, to lead out Factor Crap, guys, it's a Factor Crap. The Miami Dolphins will win out the rest of the season and make the AFC playoffs. Guys, let's get into this. Guys, the Miami Dolphins are currently sitting at 4-7. They're currently sitting at 4th in the AFC West. They're hanging on to the playoff by life support with less than a 1% chance to get in. They're basically the second best of the worst. Only the Bengals have a slightly edge of him at 2%. The Titans, Raiders, and Browns all at 0%, and the Jets have a 0.5%. So yeah, we're basically talking about miracle level math here. To make the playoffs, guys, I think the Dolphins will need to win out or at least go 6-1 down the stretch, which would get them to 10 wins, and 10 wins is a sure playoff lock. Now let's look at the remaining schedule. They got the Saints, they got the Jets, Steelers, Bengals, Buccaneers, and Patriots. Now let's just be honest about these matchups. The Saints, they're bad. They're really bad. I mean, they're like really bad. They can't score, they can't finish, and they're literally falling apart at the seams. Hell, they just cut Brandon Cooks. They should win that one. The Jets are even worse than the Saints. The Jets quarterback situation is a complete disaster. They can't move the ball, and their defense has been on the field way too long. Miami should win that one too. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals, they might have Joe Burrow back, but even with them, that defense is bad. That defense is like bad, like bottom tier bad. This game is absolutely a winnable game for the Miami Dolphins as well. So the schedule isn't brutal, but here's the catch. They still got to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They still got to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New England Patriots. And guys, and here's the truth. The Steelers, they'll drag everyone into a fist fight. Jalen Ramsey will fist fight you. Aaron Rodgers, with his cast and all, will fist fight you. TJ Watt will fist fight you. That'll be a dogfight. The Buccaneers, they can bully Miami on both sides of the ball. Yes, they're a little bit banged up, but the Buccaneers are still a Super Bowl caliber team. And the Patriots, only a maybe, maybe, get it? Depending on which version of the Patriots show up. Guys, Miami hasn't shown that they can stack wins. They haven't shown consistency. They haven't shown they can finish. And in December, football demands all three. Even with the soft-ass schedule, this team has failed to over and over again to rise to the moment. So, guys, Factor Crap. The Dolphins will win out and make the AFC playoffs. Guys, I'm calling crap. The Saints, Jets, and Bengals, all winnable games. Sure. But this team hasn't shown the discipline, the consistency, or the grit needed to beat the Steelers, to beat the Buccaneers, or even beat the Patriots, let alone once this season, but all three in a row. They are too inconsistent, too mistake-prone, and simply not built to run the table. Miami's playoff hope, guys, toast, finito, gone, see you later. But man, our nation, what do you guys think? Factor Crap. Can the Dolphins steal 6 straight, or is the season already wrapped? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. It's a live interactive show. Subscribe, hit that like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. East Coast time right here at Man Hour NFL Talk. Let's get into the top, guys. Get into the top. Did the sounds go out? I think so. I do not have the Roadcaster on the overlay, so I need to fix that. Thank you, Shay. I'll get that done as soon as the show is over. Bruin says, nope. Miami is not coming back. They're horrible. That is a fact, baby. That is fact. Shay says crap. Tua and McDaniels are gone. Ooh, Slay, slow it down, baby. Tua and Kyler Murray have one of the most worst contracts in 2026. A lot of guaranteed bills, yo. Now, crackhead Mike McDaniels might be out. Kyler Murray might get cut. I don't know. But yeah, that's tough. Bruin says, I've never disagreed so much with someone. Hey, I'm here all day, baby. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time. Bruins prod. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, man. Hit the bell icon. What's next? Kyler Murray's the MVP? No. Kyler Murray is done in Arizona. He's saying crap. Dolphins will not win out. Crap. JB729BJ is real. Tub was washed. I think he means Tua's washed. Tua's not washed. Tua is not an elite level quarterback, but he's not hot dog water either. He's not terrible. And Arthur Brown says, whoa, slow it down, baby. We gonna beat the Patriots. We gonna bring the Patriots ass right here, boy. And we gonna wax that ass, baby. Oh. Listen. This is the most parity we've seen in the NFL in a long, long time. Let's just be honest. Like, legitimately, any given Sunday, unless you're the Saints, unless you're the Titans, unless you're the Jets, or the Giants, or the Cardinals, you can legitimately beat anybody. This is the most parity in the NFL we've seen for a very, very long time. Nobody thought that the Atlanta Falcons had a hot dog's chance in beating the Buffalo Bills. I think it was Monday Night Football, wasn't it? They did. Nobody and their dog thought the Miami Dolphins was going to beat the Buffalo Bills, but they did. Nobody thought that the Indianapolis Colts were going to be the best team in the AFC, but they are. Nobody thought that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to be well below average, but they are. Legitimately, this is the definition of NFL football. Any given Sunday. This is the best, most exciting football we have seen all season long. But guys, next up here on the Factor Crap, the LA Chargers. Man Hour Nation, it's time again for once for Factor Crap. The segment number 2 of Factor Crap. In tonight's segment, the Los Angeles Chargers will make the playoffs. Factor Crap. Guys, let's talk about one of the most confusing roller coasters, unpredictable teams in the NFL, and that is the Los Angeles Chargers. They're currently sitting at 7-4, second place in the AFC West, just 1.5 games behind the Denver Broncos. A team that's locked in, disciplined, and back on track after last season, meaning the Denver Broncos. But the Chargers, they have been the exact opposite. They have been the definition of up and down. Man, when you look up and down, you're going to see two teams out there. You're going to see the Green Bay Packers, and you're going to see the LA Chargers. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Guys, but the Chargers, they started the season hot. 3-0. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Brazil. They beat the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat the Denver Broncos. They look legit. They look dominant. They look Super Bowl bound. And then they fall apart. Lose back-to-back games to the Giants and the Commanders. 2 terrible losses. 2 head-scratching losses. Like, what happened? You lost to the Giants and the Commanders? What is going on? And then they flip the switch again and win 3 straight games against the Vikings, Titans, and Steelers. Look like contenders again. And then they got absolutely embarrassed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. This team has no idea what consistency means. They lose one key player, any player, and suddenly they turn into hot dog water. Their Chargers do not handle injuries well at all. Every time someone limps off the field, the whole team limps with them. Now, they need 3 more wins to basically lock in a playoff spot. Fair? Can we all agree that? 10 wins will probably get you into the AFC playoff picture this season. But here's the problem. This is who the Chargers play to end the season. They play the Las Vegas Raiders after their bye week. Yes, the Raiders suck, but the Raiders still have the Chargers number. And then you got the Eagles, the best team in the NFL. Then you got the Kansas City Chiefs legitimately fighting for their playoff lives. Then you got the Super Bowl bound Dallas Cowboys. The Houston Texans are going to be fighting for their playoff lives. And then week 18 all comes down to the Denver Broncos. That is a gauntlet. Those are all playoff caliber teams except for the Las Vegas Raiders. And even the Vegas Raiders might trip you up if the Chargers put the Chargers moments in play. Guys, let's just be brutally honest about this gauntlet. Can they beat the Eagles? No. Can they beat the Chiefs? No. Can they beat the Texans? No. Can they beat the Cowboys? Maybe. This one might be a little bit of toss-up, but no. So if you're being realistic, the entire playoff push will come down to week 18 versus the Denver Broncos. And the $1 million question becomes, do the Denver Broncos want to let them win? Or do the Denver Broncos want to slam the door and kick them out of the playoffs? Because Denver is going to have seeding to play for. Denver is not going to roll over. And Sean Payton is not gifting Jim Harbaugh in anything. They hate each other. So guys, factor crap. Will the Los Angeles Chargers make the playoffs this season? Guys, I'm calling it crap. I don't trust this team. They're too fragile. They're too inconsistent. They crumble the second a starter touches the injury report. And this remaining schedule, they got to get 10 wins unless everything breaks right. It's going to come down to week 18. And the Broncos will not do them any favors. But Man Hour Nation, what do you guys think? Fact or crap? Are the Chargers a playoff team, or does the late season collapse hit again? Guys, drop your thoughts, drop your opinions in the comments down below, because this is a live interactive show. Subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time, right here at youtube.com/man-hour. Now, JB says they've been getting lucky. They've been getting lucky, baby. It says Justin Herbert has been mid all season long. I think you're right. I think you're right. People only think the Rams are good because of one thing, Puka. Chargers are, obviously we're not talking about the Rams, we're talking about the Chargers, but like, honestly, the Chargers are only good because of one player too, right? Lad McConkey. And Shay, I'm not making that trade. Get out of here with that. Lad McConkey. Truth be told, guys, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Man Hour Nation, we out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man Hour NFL talk.